Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 63 of the Geek Games podcast. I'm your host, Cody Teacher, alongside my best friend, Sam Suvak, and we want to wish you a very happy Memorial Day.
We do. Do you know what we also want to wish you?
What do we want to wish them?
Oh, not them, just you.
Oh, just me? What about me?
A happy birthday, sir!
Oh, you.
Everyone, if you're listening to this podcast, go ahead and pause it, hop on over to Twitter, and send @ComicBookCody a fun little birthday image, if you would. I'm sure he would love it.
Got me tearing up over here. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome. Are you doing anything fun for your birthday?
I'm off work, so I'm probably just going to be hanging out at the house playing some video games.
You're just going to be hanging out listening to our podcast like it's a Monday.
You know. Yeah, hell yeah. Sam, weirdly, so I discovered something on YouTube, so I've been watching a lot of this. Have you ever heard of Jenna Marbles?
No.
Okay, she's a YouTuber. Back in the day, I remember
was thinking
her.
Tommy Pickles. I'm like, what does that sound like? That's what it sounds like.
So back in the day when like YouTube was still young, I remember Jenna Marbles, and like she did like beauty stuff, and she was very like over the top, and like had like platinum blonde hair and like fake tan.
Sounds exactly like something you would like.
I know, right? In recent years, she's cut that back apparently, and so I started watching her again. Hilarious content. She lives in a house with her boyfriend. They have the cutest fucking dogs. They have a little chihuahua named Mr. Marbles. He's like 11 years old. Old as shit and adorable.
I like it, but I'm a little sad that he's so old.
Sorry.
It makes me nervous that he's not going to last much longer. I hope Mr. Marbles has a very long, happy life. Little dogs can live a long time.
Yeah. They have two, like, there's some kind of greyhound, but like they're like the miniature ones.
Oh yeah.
And like they look so like goofy and cute. Mm-hmm. And like one of them is named Kermit, and Kermit like cries all the time, and like it's so adorable.
Yeah.
But yeah, hilarious content.
Wait, does the other one just not warrant a name check?
See, I want to say I don't know its name. Because like they don't put that one on camera very much because it's not doing. It's not
the least camera friendly one.
And I know they have like an actual like straight up. They just bought a greyhound.
Oh wow,
Bunny.
They've got a whole pack of dogs, man.
Yeah, but yeah, really funny content. I've been watching that a lot lately, so maybe I'll do that on Monday.
Okay, I was wondering if there was a point to that story.
There
was. Like, wait, how did we get here? I don't even know.
Have you ever gone down a YouTube rabbit hole where like you just start watching things and next thing you know it's like 3 hours later and like you don't know?
Not really. I don't.
All the time for me.
Yeah, I just I have a short attention span. I'd rather be doing something else. So yeah.
I think the only other thing I'll be doing for my birthday is doing a little tanning for these guns. Welcome to the gun show. All right, sorry. Continue on.
Maybe this year, as you age, you'll get a little bit more maturity. Oh, damn! That was rough.
Wow. Oh, that hurts so bad. Well, I am maturing in some ways, Sam.
Okay.
Because I have a new segment for the show called In the Kitchen with Cody.
Okay.
Now, I am a young, fresh 25-year-old. This Monday.
Okay, I was gonna say. Well, I guess when this comes out, you will be.
Yeah, and I would say, decent in the kitchen department. I can cook some stuff.
On a scale of 0 to 10 geek hearts, how good is your cooking?
Before this past week, I would say I was at a solid 4 out of 10 geek hearts.
Ooh, don't eat with Cody, guys.
Yeah, don't eat with me. Like it was like PB&J and maybe some mac and cheese. Maybe. With ramen, I was a specialist at ramen.
Okay.
This past week though. Okay. So my family has left the house and I've been on my own defense. And one of the things, my mom made a joke that I was only going to eat fast food, and I was like, I'm gonna prove you fucking wrong, bitch.
Don't call your mother a bitch. Don't even joke about it. Jesus.
Okay. Anyways, so I have cooked chicken Alfredo and jambalaya. Let me tell you, both scary as fuck. Oh my god, guys, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Well, because here's the thing: is like, okay, fair. I was cooking out the box, right? So like, they tell you what to do. They give
like
you most of the stuff.
You just like stick it in there and it's done.
It was all right. It was a Velveeta skillet meal, first of all, and then it was a Tony Chachere's jambalaya mix. Fight me.
Hey, that's cooking. It works for me.
I know, right?
That's my level of cooking. So.
Well, like they tell you, like I was like, oh, you're gonna need like a pound of chicken and all that. So I bought like a pound of chicken breast and like I cooked it and stuff.
Oh, do you know what the sneaky, just easy way to do? You just buy that canned chicken and you just use that, and then you don't even have to mess with.
Fair.
It's because I try to make as little effort as possible for cooking.
Here's my issue with these box things though: is instead of giving me like a proportion pan thing, they're just like, oh, a saucepan will do, or a skillet will do, and I'm like, what size?
Yeah, well,
do I own a skillet?
Cody coming into our chat and being like, what's a skillet? Do I have a skillet? What?
I was like, hey, everyone know if I don't got a skillet, am I fucked here? Like, I just want to know. So yeah, I feel like the chicken Alfredo came out pretty good. Noodles were a little like, noodles were good, but they were a little rubbery. Okay. I was like, okay,
you'll work on it.
That's fine. I'll work on it. The jambalaya. Usually, I messed up here. Usually, I'm a Zatarain's guy. Tony Chachere's, a lot of spice. It bit me in the ass.
Did you just eat some of that tonight? Is that why you keep running to the bathroom?
All right. You know what? Why are we bringing this up right now? Stop it. But anyways, I'm pretty proud of myself. I think I went from a 4 out of 10 to a solid 6.5 out of 10.
That's some good progress for just like a week of cooking. You did a good job.
And I was thinking about it, and like, cooking, honestly, was probably the first video game. Because if you think about it, you gotta chop the vegetables, you gotta chop the meat, you gotta move it in a pan. It's like you're making a potion from like an RPG.
I
think we've been wrong this entire time. Knitting was not the first video game.
Cooking was the first video game.
Was the first video game.
You could be onto something, Cody.
I'm just throwing it out there. And like, I feel like that's why it made sense for me to put it here.
Makes sense. You just leveled up.
But honestly,
you have to go on your quest. You get your ingredients. Yeah,
I do. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, do I have? Sorry. This episode's going on a tangent, but it's my birthday episode. We're gonna do what the fuck I want.
Geek heart cooking.
So I went to Walmart to buy the stuff for the jambalaya.
Okay.
All right. I don't like going to Walmart for a number of reasons. There's too many people. It's really loud sometimes, and it's right next to like where I live, and so a lot of people I went to high school with go there. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to run into people you went to high school with. Yeah. I had a girl like I went to high school with like another week ago, like try to flirt with me. I wasn't about it. I was like, please leave me alone. I just wanted to get out of here. I just came for some Oreos, wanted to roll out. So I'm buying everything. I start walking up to self-checkout because self-checkout is the greatest gift God has ever given us.
It is.
Like,
it's fantastic.
I love it. And this girl's like, oh, I can check you out right here. And I was like, oh, because like in self-checkout, there's usually that one where the person stands just in case one of the things breaks down and she's there to help. But she can also check people out if the lines are full. It's like, oh, okay, cool. She means to go over there. She just grabs my cart, pulls it to the side, pulls out like one of these little scanner things she's got in her hands, starts scanning all my products. And I was like, oh no, I don't like this. And so she scans everything. She's like, all right, insert your card into the chip reader. And I was like, okay. And she's like, all right, I'll start bagging your stuff. I was like, oh, you can just bag the cold stuff. Sam, it was as if I told her to go fuck herself. She turned and looked at me and was so angry that I only wanted the cold things. Because like I bought like some bags of chips, some drink stuff, and then like the meat and like everything else was like not cold. I got some pineapple chunks because I was like, oh, I want some fruit. But she was like, what? And I was like, you can just bag the cold stuff. She's like, you don't want anything else bagged? And I was like, no, like it's bad for the environment. Like I tried out to, I've been trying lately to not use a lot of plastic bags. And she was like, okay, and like the most like aggressive attitude towards me.
To be fair, you're in Louisiana, and apparently caring about the environment might just be a weird thing.
It might be weird, yeah. She got very uppity and was like, well, now I have to follow you to the door so they don't think you're trying to steal this stuff.
You have a fucking receipt. Come on.
Yeah, well, and like she's like, all right, enter your phone number and it'll text you the receipt. So I did that and I pulled it up. And like I'm walking towards the door and she's like trailing behind me, and like I swear she's mumbling to herself a little bit about this because she's apparently really angry about it. The greeter, the person who's supposed to look at the receipt or scan it or whatever, it's an old lady. She doesn't even pay attention to me. She's like, all right, you have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
But that girl was so angry that I did not want things bagged. I was like, what is happening? Like,
We should get some of those canvas reusable bags, and then
I do want to get one of those.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just it was something else. I was like, what the heck? But anyways, cooking actually a lot of fun. Like I had a lot of fun with it. You know, I turned a little bit of music, and like you're waiting for everything to cook. It's a lot of fun. Give it a try if you're not a very big cooker like I was in the past.
Can I just one little PSA since we're talking about cooking? I got a little crazy. I was like, hey, let's try some stuff. So I bought this spiral pasta that was red lentil pasta instead of like grains. I was like, this will be good. Like it's healthy. Like, you know, it's vegetable stuff. It'll be good. Cody, that did not taste good at all. It was so bland. And like I'd made it to like take in my lunch, and so I was like, oh boy, I got my pasta and my vegetables that I made up. This is gonna be great. And I start eating and I'm like, this is horrible. I was so disappointed. So don't do the red lentil pasta, you guys. I mean, if you like it, good for you. But
have you ever heard like the pasta noodles that are like made out of like they're made out of vegetables, like green beans, I wanna say. They have noodles.
I've never seen green bean noodles, but
pretty good. I'm pretty sure it's green bean. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm thinking like broccoli or something.
Well, I know that there are green pastas, but I don't know what they're made out of.
I thought they were made of vegetables. Maybe I'm just crazy.
I
could be crazy.
I don't know. We don't know. We're newbies to this whole food and cooking thing. We don't have the details. It's fine. But you know.
Anyways. See, I think we're a video game podcast, so why don't we talk about some video games? Tell me about Enslaved Odyssey to the West.
Well, let me tell you about this game, okay? This game is by Ninja Theory, which is why I got it, because, you know, I fucking love Ninja Theory. They made Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. They made the DMC remake that was fun, and I just think they're great. So, of course, I wanted to support them. One time, this was on sale on Steam, so I was like, hey, yeah, I'll get it. It'd be great. And then I haven't played it, because, you know, I don't like playing on my computer. Now, if you're watching the video, you may have noticed that my setting has changed. Aha. So I have rearranged furniture in my house to move back into this other living room that I prefer. So many years ago, I bought this huge sectional sofa because like I was really social and like to have people over. I'm like, I need lots of room for people to sit, right? And then after a little bit, I was like, man, this sectional is the most uncomfortable thing in the world, and I hate sitting on it. And so I don't know what the rational thing would have been to do, but I just moved into the dining room and I got this love seat and I just moved everything into the dining room and turned that into my living room, right? So 10 years later, enough is enough. I finally got rid of the fucking sectional and we moved all this stuff in here. And I'm like, I got my computer right here. I got the TV right here. I can just like stretch a little HDMI cable and like I'll be good to go. And I can play games on my computer in the comfort of my living room. So I was super excited to do this, right? I'm like, this is going to be great. I'm finally going to get to play this game I've been excited about. And the first time I played it, it was great, Cody. Everything was working great. I was having a good time. I'm like, this is like a last generation PS3 game, but it still plays pretty well. And it was like an interesting story. You're playing as this guy. There's like slavery in the world. This is apparently way late in the future of Earth because like you see the Statue of Liberty. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't understand the time frame. But you're playing as this guy, this other slave. The ship crashes, she puts like the slave helmet on you, and so she's like kind of in charge of you, and that's how the game is. It's like a big escort mission to try to get her to safety, and then she'll release you once you get her to safety. So I'm playing it, I'm having a good time, I'm great, that's fine, you know, good time. So I quit for the day, and then the next day I go to boot it back up again, I get everything set up, I'm like, all right, here we go, and I start noticing like the screen is kind of weird. It's like when the movement and the camera, it's not smooth. It's just kind of like there's like a blur to the movement that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, maybe it's a bad connection. So I started like unplugging, plugging, redoing stuff, trying to get it. And it's like, it wasn't working. And it was the kind of thing that it was kind of giving me motion sickness from like
Oh, wow.
the poor movement quality of it, which, you know, that's a bad thing. Cause like, you know, VR, sure, that could happen. But like just playing a straight game, it's like, that shouldn't happen. And then while I was messing with stuff, then the audio stopped working. And so like, I couldn't get the audio to work. So finally I figured out how to like switch it on my computer where the audio would just come out of the computer and it wouldn't mess with the TV, which is not ideal, but I was like, fine, whatever. But still oh no, I think I quit again and then like tried again later and the screen was still doing that. And I was just like, I can't play it like this.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to play at the monitor here and do it from that. So then I sat down to play here. And then it was doing it on this screen too. So I'm like, okay, it's not the TV. It's something with the fucking computer. And this is why I hate computers and like playing games on computers. I'm just like, Arr! So long story short, I'm not going to play Enslaved Odyssey anymore because I can't handle it. It's just like, I can't handle the visuals like that.
Is it part of the game that's doing that, or it's just the monitor, like what's happening?
I mean, it's just like I'm sure it's something about my computers like not handling the game well or something. I don't know, because I've never had. I've played fucking Destiny 2 on this computer and it's fine and it's fucking gorgeous. So I don't know what the problem is. And also while I was playing, sometimes I had like weird glitches. Like my escort lady would fall down in this thing and get stuck, and like I couldn't progress because she was stuck, and I'm just like, ugh. So, it was a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm done because like I can't handle the frustration, which is really disappointing. So I don't know, man.
Well, I'm sorry you're not able to play any more Enslaved Odyssey.
To the west.
All right.
Not to be confused with Enslaved Odyssey to the east or any other locations
south,
those Odysseys happened.
You know. All right. Well, I've been playing a lot more Marvel Strike Force.
Okay.
So I need to first admit I failed you guys.
Wait, what did you say last time we talked about Marvel Strike Force and what you would and wouldn't do?
I was going to spend any more money in this game.
What did I say I thought was going to happen?
I think you were pretty confident I would spend more money in the game.
Okay. So then just okay, so go ahead. What happened?
I did good. Okay, I lasted like 2 days after the podcast recording. Okay, it was like, we recorded last Thursday. It was like Saturday morning. I woke up. I turned on the game.
2 days.
Hey, bite me, okay? I turned on the game and it was like, oh, here's an offer exclusively for you. For $3, have Sabretooth and some other stuff.
Let me just break this to you, Cody. They say it's exclusive for you, but it's not exclusive for you,
yeah,
Cody.
I know.
You're not the only one who got that deal.
Yeah. And I was like, I really like Sabretooth. It's $3, right? Like, and then I was like, I clicked and it bought it. I was like, cool. And then I realized I couldn't play him because like I didn't have the materials to level him up. So he sat there for a couple days while I garnered the stuff to level him up.
That's fine.
Did
it make you happy? Did it make you happy to have him?
After I leveled him up, he destroys. Like, I've been clearing stuff in raids.
My God, I'm so glad that you enjoy that. Just think about it, Cody. If Congressman Josh Hawley gets his way and he passes the no loot boxes, no microtransactions, you're not going to get that feeling again, FYI.
Oh, shit, you're right. Crap, you got me there.
Keep that in mind. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Oh, wait, no, does that make me a criminal? But, like, if he outlaws them, they're just not going to be in the game at all.
There's going to be a black market for microtransactions.
Yes. So yeah, I broke down that and I was like, all right, this is a slippery slope. Like, I can't every time they offer me a $3 character buy the fucking character because like this is how they're gonna
not
get
every time, but I mean, you know,
if it's a character I really like, maybe.
Fucking people spend $3 on a coffee, so you're getting much more use out of that $3.
And I was thinking about it, and like honestly, like I could be doing crack cocaine.
You could. Exactly.
Instead, I'm playing a video game on my phone. So yeah, I'm still just working on getting my Defenders team together. I did level up Wolverine and Sabretooth.
Ooh,
Just
do
because
they
I
have
had
some kind of
interest.
like bros bonus?
Not that I've found, which is weird to me because like they're both mutants, but then like I figured something there.
Well, you have to have
Um,
more than two. You'd have to have a full 3 pack
maybe.
to get a bonus.
So I know Wolverine has the X-Men bonus and something else, and then Sabretooth has the Brotherhood bonus, and like so he works well with like Magneto, Mystique,
Hmm.
Juggernaut, Pyro. So yeah,
Does
and I think they're about
Mystique
to.
like change? Can she mimic other characters?
I haven't played against her or with
Okay.
her yet, so I don't
Okay.
know. I'm interested. Um,
Okay.
so the big like today actually there was a huge update. It's they're introducing like a bunch of X-Men over the next couple of weeks, obviously leading up to Dark Phoenix. So today they dropped Psylocke, and there's going to be an event on when you're hearing this. The event starts, and if you do stuff, you can unlock shards for Psylocke. That's pretty cool. And after that, I believe it's Colossus, and then after Colossus, it'll be Phoenix. So that's pretty awesome. Um, and so I think there's talks that they're going to rework Wolverine and kind of to make him work better with the other X Men because like I think like the X Men they're introducing all give a bonus to each other, so
Hmm.
that's pretty cool. Uh, it's just really like it's such a simple game, but there is a lot of tactic to it. Like
Hmm.
currently, I'm like really trying to climb the arena ladder because like uh, the way they do the arena is like it's broken into like I want to say 5 or 6 brackets, and it's like from 10,000 to 6,000. Like if you place in there every 24 hours, you get 100 tickets. Well, I got lucky and got below 6,000. I'm at like 5,400 right now. I want to say. So now every 24 hours, I get 200 tickets. And so to get to the next bracket, I gotta get down to I want to say 3,000. So I got like 2,000 whatever to go. And like obviously the lower you go, the harder the enemies are and stuff like that. And it's a lot of fun. And like so like powering up Sabretooth and Wolverine have been a huge help because like they both do a bunch of AoE damage
Hmm.
and they apply bleeds to everything. And like I'm just wrecking house on a lot of characters. But then like there are people who I think got lucky and got like I had like Miss Marvel in this game. Holy shit, does she fuck people up? Because she's like a tank, but she also does a lot of damage. She has like an AoE move where like her fist enlarges and like she swings
Um,
across.
Cody, the technical term is embiggen. Okay.
Oh, embiggen. She
Yeah.
embiggens her arm and just swipes at everybody, and like it does a ton of damage. And she's a tank, so she just is like eating damage for
Is
days.
is she able to do the full body embiggen or just the fist?
Just the fist from what I've seen, but like I
Okay.
don't know if those people had leveled her up enough to
Okay.
unlock her other abilities. Um, and so yeah, like I've been running into a couple people who have her as a character, and she's been a tough opponent. Yeah, I'm really like I'm liking the game. I've been ignoring the campaigns, and I know I need to get back to those.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, and because like Iron Fist, I just unlocked the mission where like I can farm for shards for him, and if you don't
Hmm.
remember to unlock characters, you have to farm shards for them. After so many, you can unlock the character. You can recruit the character to your team, um, and so like currently I'm working on getting Daredevil and Iron Fist to finish off my Defenders team. I'm about close to halfway with Daredevil, and then with Iron Fist, I've barely scratched the surface just because like it's a very tough mission. Like it's against like an Ultron Prime, I think is what he's called, and he constantly summons little Ultron bots, and
Hmm.
like I've the best I've been able to do is 1 star it, and that's because like at least 2 of my characters always die. But like yeah, and I think if you can 3 star it, like that gives you a better chance at getting the shards. I want to say, and
Hmm.
then once you 3 star it, you can auto win it. And like that's really just what I'm trying to do, so I can fucking farm these shards every day. Um, but yeah, so currently right now, up until Monday, I want to say they have a Guardians of the Galaxy event going on, just like a little mini one where you can get Star Lord pieces. So I've been trying to do that. Yeah, and then like the raids, I really didn't get to talk about them very much. Oh hey Aloy, how's it going? Um, so like the raids are really cool because like you're competing against your team, but then you're also working together as a
Hmm.
team. I didn't realize this. So like you're trying to see who can do the most damage to like these uh, random teams of like enemies and stuff like that, and then you're progressing to a ladder. I didn't realize this. I thought they were like random levels, but no, you're like progressing through a ladder, and like if you can, the higher you go, the better rewards everyone gets. So while you are competing against each other, you're also trying to work together to finish the completion. So like what I started doing was instead of like, so what I started doing instead of just like randomly hopping on a random rung of the ladder, I've been looking and seeing like, oh, like this person like did a bunch of damage here, but didn't get to finish this like important major part of the ladder. Let me hop in there and finish off that for them.
So you're not doing it at the same time, or you are doing it at the same time?
Kind of, because I did have one raid I was doing. It definitely seemed like me and another guy were playing at the same time, because like randomly like one of the people I was fighting just died. I was doing no damage to them.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, that's interesting.
You don't see other people with you while
you don't see them.
Oh. I mean, it's a mobile game. That would probably be pretty difficult to show that, so that makes sense.
And so, yeah, and I think the update today also brought another thing, because there's now in the shop, there's now a 5th tab that's locked for me. I think I have to get to a higher level before it appears. Ayla is getting frisky. She's jumping all around behind Sam. It's getting a little worrisome.
Yeah.
Sam's very afraid.
This is what she normally does when I podcast, but I just don't know because I've been back in my bedroom. It's weird.
It's a new little thing going on. But yeah, I'm having a blast with Marvel Strike Force. I'm probably going to keep playing it for a very long time. Just hopefully, I can keep my spending habits in check with it. I don't want to be dropping all this money.
You'll be responsible with it.
I think
you'll
I will.
spend some here and there. You won't go crazy. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's been Marvel Strike Force. A little update for you guys. How I'm having fun with it. Sam, you got to hop in and play the Hunt Showdown closed beta on Xbox?
No, it was an open beta, Cody.
Open beta.
It was open to everybody. Anybody with the Xbox could have played this game, as I believe I mentioned a time or two for people who might have been interested in it. So I don't know anybody else who's playing it besides me, but. So I played the closed alpha on PC. And I was like, it seems cool, but fuck no, I can't. It was horrible. It was a horrible experience all around. I've told you about computers, all right? So playing on Xbox, let me tell you, I really had a good time. Okay, so Hunt Showdown. It's a kind of like a deep south setting, like you're in the bayou, kind of swampy. It's just bad stuff. Like everything's dead. There are these monsters around. It's like, I don't know, older times. So you've got just like single barrel shotguns that you shoot it and then you have to look. What?
It's the deep south. It's always old times. What are you talking about?
Fair enough.
I can make that joke because I live here. Fuck off, people who think that wasn't funny. All right, sorry.
But yeah, I don't know the actual time frame. But anyway, bad stuff has happened. There's monsters. You're kind of on these missions. So like you start off in the bounty quest. There's a bounty and then there's a quick play. So in the bounty, you go in and you have just this magical dark sight that you use, that you click your button and it like changes everything dark, and you see like a glowing blue light to show you which direction to go find clues. And then you go and you find a clue, and then once you get enough clues, it'll tell you where your bounty target is. And the bounty targets are either going to be this big ass horrifying spider, of course, Cody, of course it is, or this guy who's the butcher, who's also big and horrifying. And while you're doing that, there are also other players in the world going around as well. You're able to do duos. I didn't do that with anyone. The first 3 level progressions are your training area, and you're not allowed to just randomly match with someone because I guess they don't want someone to get stuck with a noob who doesn't know what they're doing. And it has when you're first starting, it has pretty good tools that pop up and tell you like, this is what you do to do this is what you do. So it gives you instructions. So basically you just load in, you check your map, you check your dark vision to see which way to go, and you just start trying to find these clues and find the bounties. And along the way, you're killing monsters if you come across them. Now, the best kind of monsters are just the regular human people who are whatever infected somehow. I don't know. And they just kind of come at you. You kill them. They're nice and easy. I liked those a lot, Cody. There's also hellhounds, which are these dogs. And they're a little trickier because, dogs are pretty mobile. They're pretty agile. They get around. They're a little tougher to take down, right? So then you get into this crazy looking monster that's, I think, called an armorer because he's got lots of armor on him.
Yeah.
He'll take 3 shots with the shotgun before that one goes down. But then it's okay. It's okay. There's this, I forget what she's called. I think she's called the Hive. There's this woman, and she summons this swarm of insects that will come and poison you. And you really need to kill her or just try to get away as fast as possible. I try to avoid her as much as possible. There's, I forget his name, it wasn't Meat Sack, but it was Meat something. And it's this big kind of blob of a guy who doesn't seem to have a head. He's just kind of got this neck. And then he kind of, I guess, poops out these slug leech creatures that kind of come at you. And he, I think, uses them for tracking to find you. I don't know how to take him down. I didn't mess with him too much. I was like,
Yeah.
So those were the main monsters that I encountered. Oh, there's also, so sometimes if you're crossing the swamp, I saw this in a tooltip and then I encountered it. There's some type of monster in the swamp. And so if you're making noise while you're crossing the water, it'll come and try to get you. And there are lots of tentacles flapping around there in the water. I was like, oh, I'm getting the hell out of here. I don't know. It does recommend that you play with headphones because it has really good audio and it's really spooky, Cody. I'll be like, oh, here's the house with a clue in it. I need to go in here. I open the door. There's a fucking monster. I would scream because it startles you, of course. So it's good to have fun little stuff like that. It has broken glass on the ground everywhere and things hanging from the ceiling that if you touch them it makes noise. So there's lots of stuff where you have to be careful where you're stepping or you're going to give your position away, which is a cool concept. I said this is older times. These guns suck, Cody. Okay? I found out the hard way. Normally in a shooter, you shoot your gun. When it runs out of ammo, if you shoot again, it's not going to shoot, but it'll go ahead and start that reload for you.
Yeah.
No. That's not how this game works. You have to start the reload or that thing is never going to reload. I was like, what's happening? Why is it? Because it would do this little click. And I thought it was starting to reload, but it wasn't. I died multiple times from bad experiences with that. But I mean, it's a kind of neat concept. Also, there's very limited ammo. And there's limited stuff that you start with. So one of the hunters that I started with, he had a little stim pack so he could do a little self-healing. But then I got this other hunter and he came with a firebomb, a Molotov, but he didn't have his little healing thing. I was like, oh. But as you're exploring, you can find health packs and ammo caches so you can get stuff up. Oh, you can also get better weapons. So if you pick up a sledgehammer or an axe, those are fantastic because for the regular human people, that's just a one-hit kill on those. So that's really good. It's okay. So for a while, I was just killing stuff, getting XP from that. But I mean, I would die to these monsters. And it was I went mini games before I even ran into another actual player, which was okay. Most of the time, I would get killed and be like, what? Oh, there was somebody there? Okay. Then, of course, I had the one time where I snuck up on somebody. I'm like, ooh, there's somebody. And I killed another player. I was like, fuck yeah, he didn't see me coming. So that was fun. But I'm not...
you're for the audio listeners. Also, what you said sounded dirty. Sam said, fuck yeah, and pelvic thrusted, it looked like on my screen.
I was moving my arms, not my pelvis. Come on.
Yeah, alright, whatever. And all I can imagine was you in-game just teabagging that player that you killed. Be like, fuck yeah, you're not gonna get me.
I did not do that because we happened to be in the lair of the butcher at the time.
Ooh.
Cody, these bosses, one of my big problems with the actual game itself is I I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to kill one of these bounty bosses, because like it was just tragic every time I ran into one. Like I could get like maybe one shot off and then I was dead. So I feel like that's something that you really need to have your duos. You need to have a buddy to help you with this. And then I think you need to like, even if you maybe find the lair, I feel like maybe you need to do some scavenging first. Or if you're able to like buy stuff to bring into the match with you so you're better prepared. But just kind of going into the fight with what you have.
Or you let another team of hunters start to kill the bounty and you go and kill them. They did all the dirty work for you.
That sounds like a lovely plan. I like that plan quite a bit. Because as is, it was just like I don't know how to do anything effective on these guys, and they don't. There's not like much of a HUD. Like
yeah,
I don't know if there's any HUD really. I don't think there is. No, there's like a compass map at the top, but I think that might be all. And I mean, you can pull up your wheel to see, like, you can switch weapons and do stuff like that. But I don't think you see anything else on screen. And you definitely don't see, like, an enemy health bar on your boss. You just have to go and, you know, hope for the best. But yeah, so it was fun. I would need a buddy to be effective. But even knowing that I'm not effective, like, I still had so much fun playing it. And, like, I kept wanting, like, I want to go back and play it right now. Of course, it's over. The beta's over for now. But it was really fun. And then I jumped into the quick play, which I feel like this might be more like a traditional battle royale. Because you go in and you kind of spawn with a random weapon. The tooltip said like you can pick which kind, but I never figured out how to pick. I just kind of got stuff, and sometimes it's a melee weapon, sometimes it's a gun. But as you're going, there are a lot more weapons available that you'll come across and find, so you can get better weapons. And then you have to do this. You have to go to well springs and then like absorb the energy, which is the exact same thing that you're doing when you're taking a clue in the other mode. So it's kind of the same thing. And then I don't understand what's supposed to happen, but I always died real quick in those. And like, I feel like maybe they would have like 10 players in the game at most, but we weren't getting, I'll get into that in a second. But like anytime I would die and I'd like spectate the other players, there were always only like 2 or 3 other players. And we hadn't been playing long, so I was like, I don't know if there just weren't many people in the game or what, if everybody else had died already. But yeah, the biggest problem with this beta was the load times. Trying to get into the bounty hunt would take a good 5 minutes, and then trying to get into the quick play would take even longer. Like, it was horrible. Because like in a game with like this, you want to be able to get back into the action quickly, you know? And hopefully that was just part of the beta, and probably not having a lot of people in it might have, you know, been troublesome. So more people should have played it. Hint, hint. But if they can get like the wait times fixed, it's gonna be a really fun game. Unless I like end up getting frustrated because I'm not effective. Oh, also, so you get your hunters that you take into battle, and then the premise of this game is like if they die in the game, like you lose that hunter and you lose all their stuff, and then you have to like pay to go recruit another hunter. So when you start out though, you get to go till level 16 before your hunters actually start dying. So every time, like it's in your training wheels session, so they stay alive and you get to keep using them. But I don't know how it's going to work once they do start dying, because if you're not good at the game, like I feel I'm not going to be super great. Like, it's like, am I going to lose people? And then like, will I still be able to afford new hunters to bring in? But like, the good thing is killing like the human monsters and killing those hellhounds and stuff, that nets you experience. And like, you can just like avoid the bounty altogether. You can just go around and kill monsters to kind of farm your XP. And you earn currency as well as you're playing. I don't really understand if that's just tied to your XP or how it works, but you get stuff. So, I mean, there's stuff that you can do to still get stuff without playing the objective so much, but it's just a wonderful, I mean, wonderful as in horrifying setting, and I just loved it, and I can't wait to play some more. So, yeah.
Alright. So that was the Hunt Showdown open beta.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, I got a new game to talk about. It launched this past Tuesday for console players and PC, actually. It came into release. This is leaving beta and coming to release. It's called Dauntless. It is a hunting RPG akin to Monster Hunter World and stuff like that. And so, I guess the easiest way I can describe this game, like, if you're just wanting to know, like, what is it like? It's like mechanics of Monster Hunter meet the kind of art style of, like, a Fortnite / Sea of Thieves.
And I'd say more kind of like the accessibility of one of those games too. Like it seems easier to get into.
Yeah, it does.
Figure stuff out.
And so like the kind of crux of it is you are a slayer. You go out, you hunt down these monsters. They have different mechanics and stuff like that. So you got to learn that. There's different weapons to equip, and then you are collecting like pieces, and you can go and collect like materials from the world as you're looking for these monsters, and then you turn around and you make weapons, armor, potions, and other consumables, stuff like that. And then you're powering up your armor with, like, I believe in this one they're called cells. In Monster Hunter they were gems, but in this one they're called cells. And there seems to be a kind of like story campaign happening where like you do pick up quests and you go do the quests. Like it's one of the quests I had. I got to level 4, so I'm not very far. But one of the quests was just I would go hunt a thunder behemoth and an ice behemoth. And that's what these monsters are called. They're called behemoths. Mm-hmm. And so I went and did that. And it was pretty cool. They have some pretty interesting mechanics. The ice behemoth would cover itself in like a layer of ice. And so it would take like reduced damage or no damage in some parts of its body. And it would also summon little like babies. And if you killed the babies, they gave you an ice shield.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah. That phrase sounded really bad. If you kill the babies, you get an ice shield. If you killed the smaller behemoths, you have an ice shield.
Ice beast.
Yeah. And so it's a free-to-play game, so there is they have like a battle pass called the Hunt Pass. Their current season seems to be based around like ninjas and stuff. I definitely saw some like emotes that were based on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Naruto. So that's pretty interesting. So let's get into some of like the core problems that I had with this game.
Oh dear.
First off, I don't know what's going on with their servers, but there are some tremendously long wait times. I think the day it launched, we had someone say they were in an 18-hour queue, something like that.
Well, no, it said 100. Well, I kept getting 180 hours, so it kept saying that for me, and I never got in. I kept trying to get in, I never got in. So.
I finally got to sit down and play it last night, and the first time I tried to log in, it told me 135 minutes. I backed out of that, tried it again, dropped down to 35, tried it again, dropped down to 18, tried it again, and dropped down to a, as they put it, 3.0 minutes. And I was like, what does that mean? What is a 0.0 minutes? And then it finally started going down minute by minute, and I finally got in. I was like, cool.
I tried your trick, and it never went down when I backed out and came back. Sometimes it went up, and it never went down.
Yeah. A lot of stuttering for me. I don't know. Like, I am on a, not like I'm on a base PS4, and there was a lot of stuttering issues I had. That could just be like server overload because I was going towards the hub city. The combat, in my opinion, has no weight to it. I feel like I could have been doing all the damage. I could have not been because I just felt like I couldn't feel like in Monster Hunter World. And that's what I'm really comparing this to because like I spent 300 hours in that game. Like if I swung my greatsword into a monster's face, I felt the weight behind that sword. And in this one, I equipped a giant axe because I was like, oh, maybe the axe is the equivalent to the greatsword for me. And I felt like I was just fucking hitting the air half the time. Like there was no weight to any of my moves.
Are you talking about like like vibrations in the controller to give you feedback?
Vibrations in the controller, just like how numbers pop up on the screen, how the behemoths react to your hits, things like that.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
And so I will like shift into like the positives now. The hub city in this is amazing. Like, you actually see other players running around. It's set up like an MMORPG in a lot of ways, and I like that. It's really cool. I'm sure that I think they have talked about how like either it's in the game or it's going to be in the game where like when you eventually can join like a guild or a clan, like you have a little clan area that you can all hang out in. Like, that's really sweet, cool to me. Every weapon has a move list, and like they show you like what combos do and stuff like that. And I like that. It's not just trial and error like in Monster Hunter, unless you go to a certain area. Like, there's the only way you can really test out what moves do. The matchmaking feels really smooth. Like, you walk up, you can hit the board, and you get to walk around until that mission's ready. And the matchmaking felt...
Wait, how long does it take before a mission's ready?
I think just until they find the 4 players, but like I was no longer than a minute ever for me.
Cool.
Most of mine were like in the first 30 seconds because we're very early in the game. It was like playing because of launch and all that. So yeah, those are kind of some of the positives I have about the game. In all honesty, and shocking turn of events, Dauntless made me want to go play Monster Hunter.
That's understandable.
Understandable. I do think the game is fun. I think it's a free alternative to if you don't want to put $20 down on a thing. I do like the art style. It's got that Sea of Thieves / Fortnite feel to it, and like that's a really cool art style. It doesn't seem like predatory with its microtransactions. Like, you buy the hunting pass, like you have to buy a current premium currency. I didn't see anything like loot boxy. I think they have the setup here for a great game. It's just it's not clicking with me. That's the only issue. If it clicks for other people, that's great.
I mean, you had the prime rib, and now you're not in the mood for hamburger anymore.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's just... It sucks a little bit, because like, I was really looking forward to this. I was like, oh, maybe this will be the game I play during the summer, like, when I'm not playing, like, Marvel Ultimate Alliance or Elder Scrolls Online, like, things like that. Maybe I can just hop in there and do that. I do hope other people enjoy it. But yeah, it was not clicking for me at the time. I'm trying to think. Oh, another huge positive I have about the game, because this is something I've never really seen a game do. So, like, in most games, when you get to the character creator screen, it asks you, do you want to be male or female? In this one, it's more gender fluid, and I think that's a really big positive, where instead it asks you, do you want to have more of a masculine body type or a feminine body type? And, like, you can pick faces and stuff like that, and, like, you can make your look however you want, and it's not just set to male or female. I think that's a very big step up in a lot of games. It's usually just, hey, do you want to be male or female? Here it's, what do you want your body type to be like? What do you want how you can identify however you want. That's really cool. That's something I think a lot of games should take pride in. So I do want to give Dauntless a big shout out for that. So yeah, I do think Dauntless is a good game. It's just like it's not clicking with me. But I do recommend like trying it. Like if Monster Hunter was not your jam, maybe try this one because maybe this one will click more with you. It doesn't seem as punishing as Monster Hunter can be at times. So yeah, definitely give that a shot if you have not. It's free.
If you can get in.
If you can get in. I hope they figure out their server things quickly because it's obvious.
They'll get it worked out.
People want to play this game if there's a fucking queue to log in. Like,
yeah.
Also, if you're on PlayStation, there is a PS Plus pack that gives you a bunch of weapon skins. Go get that. It's pretty cool.
I should do that.
All right. So that's been Dauntless. Sam tried to play, but she got her things. Yeah.
I did play the beta that was on PC quite a while ago, and I thought it was fun. But me and PC games. So.
All right. Well, Sam, why don't you tell me how you've been raging lately? And Rage 2.
It's time for Sam's Corner of Rage.
Oh, yeah.
Hurrah! okay, this is gonna be weird. Okay, so when I saw like the previews for or the trailer for Rage 2, like I got real excited about it, right?
Yeah.
Because it was like showing like this nonstop action, like heavy metal music, kind of like the Doom like action,
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, this is just gonna be like nonstop thrills. It's gonna be fantastic, right? I was like really pumped for it. Um, and then I got into the game, and it's kind of your typical open world game, and so you spend a lot of time driving to a place. And Cody, there's no music when you're driving in this car. And I was like, man, like first rule of game development, I feel, should be if you're driving in a car in a game, give me some music. Like,
Yeah.
who wants to drive without music? It's just like, why would you do that? Also, I got very angry because, like, when you first start out, there's like the opening stuff where you're getting all the backstory, whatever, right? And then the open world is like, here, go do your stuff, right? And it's like, here, you've got access to this car in the garage, but it costs $10 to call the car. And of course, you're starting out and you have no fucking money, Cody. You got a car, but you can't call it. And I'm like, why would you do that? So I've got to like wander through the wasteland and go like find some bandit people and kill them until I can get some money to get a car. So that made me mad. But once you get into the combat, it is pretty fun, and it does get like the intense music going, and you're like, yeah, you're having fun. It's your basic shooter, you got your basic types of guns, but then like as you go further along, you get more specialty guns. Like there's this rocket launcher that's like a typical rocket launcher, but then it's alt fire. It has these lock-on tracking missiles, so you can lock onto two targets and then shoot it, and it goes takes care of them. That's pretty cool. I just unlocked this little handgun that you shoot however many bullets you want to from the clip, I guess, and then you push the L2 button and they explode. So like you get a few bullets in a few people, and then you like explode them all, and that's really cool. Sounds really cool, but actually because that's the alt fire thing, like, so you can't aim down sights, because the aim down sights is the explode the thing. So it's like, and so I came close to death a lot when I was trying to use that pistol, just because, like, no, my aim's not great. But so they've got neat weapons that unlock, and then you've got your superpowers, because you've got this ranger suit, like a mech suit that you use, that something about nanites in your system that give you these special abilities. There's this whole backstory that I guess probably ties into the first one. It's like, whatever. But so like one of the first abilities you get is you can like do this, like, I don't know what to call it, just like a pow at people. So you run up to them and just do your pow, and they like, it's like a burst of energy at them. So it'll like either knock all their armor off, or if they're weak, it'll just explode them pretty much. And like there's some good gore stuff happening in this game, like when people explode, or like you can take their heads off, and it's like, yeah, there's some blood flowing, it's cool. I mean, if you like that sort of thing, which I enjoy it, it's fine. And then like the next one I unlocked was like this double jump and kind of like a double hover, so you can like get up places, which is nice and handy, not super exciting. Then I got one where you do like a big ground pound, and it's like, it knocks people back, but also if they're weak, it'll make them explode. So it's cool when you're making people explode. These people that are just in the wasteland, so they got their armor on, but they're not wearing like a whole lot otherwise. So like the men are topless under their armor, the women have a bra on under their armor, but so like if you're shooting them, it's like knocking off their armor. So I mean, it looks like you're like stripping them down, which is like weird. I didn't understand what was happening at first, and then I realized, oh, that's just what they're wearing under their armor. So it's fun. It's cool that it's you have to knock off their armor, and you can like see when they're getting weak, and then you can kill them. It was okay. Like I was playing, I was like, this is fine, but it's not. I mean, it wasn't as fun as a Doom, because obviously it wasn't like demons. It's just like, well, it's these people in the wasteland and then mutants, which I'll get to that in a minute. and it was just like, running around shooting people. And earlier this year when I played Far Cry New Dawn, I was kind of worried that it would be too similar to this game. But then after I played Far Cry, I was like, no, it won't be, because like Rage 2 is going to be like so exciting and like that. But then I'm like, nope, this is really quite a bit like Far Cry New Dawn, except, a little more violent and actiony once you're in the combat. But like otherwise, it's pretty similar. So I was just like, I would say I was having like a medium time with it. But then, all right, so the thing that's affected me more, the day before I got this game, like I ordered it from Amazon, and so like it had shipped, right? It had shipped on Monday. It was going to get to me on Tuesday. So on Monday, I read this article on Polygon by a guy named Chris Plant. And he was talking about Rage 2 and how it made him feel. So one of the big things about Rage 2 is like you're fighting the mutants. The mutants are the bad guys, and the majority of the mutants are represented with deformities, including like a cleft lip and or a cleft palate in their mouth. And so the author, Chris Plant, was born with a cleft palate, and so like he obviously is gonna feel that personally. Okay, and so this article referenced back an article a year ago at E3, which I remember reading that when it came out, because he had sat down with one of the developers from Rage 2. Well, actually, I don't know. Some guy affiliated with Rage 2. His name was Tim Willits, I believe. And they were talking about this. And Chris was like, yeah, I was born with this. So, like, it feels insensitive and hurtful, like, when I see that representation in video games. Because, like, a lot of times what they do is they'll take people who are different in some way and portray those people as the villains. So the bigger the deformity, the bigger the villain they are. And the better like good guy they are, the more beautiful they're gonna look. And like that's what people have done often in games. And that's what he was seeing in the early development stages of Rage 2. And the first article from last year was really pretty cool because like Tim Willits, this guy, was like, oh wow, and like we never thought of that. That's like, I'm sorry that's how you feel and that's what's happened. He's like, I'm gonna go back and talk to the guys about this, and so like back then when people read the article and stuff, we were like, oh, that's really cool that this developer is taking the feedback and is hopefully gonna go back and like implement some changes to kind of be better. But so yeah, the game came out and they didn't make any changes, and he said it was it was just everything was worse than what he had originally even thought it would be. These are the bad guys. They've apparently there's a scene where you go into like a bar or something and these mutants have their heads chopped off and they're mounted on the wall like an animal mount would be, like a deer head would be, but they have these mutant heads like with their cleft lip. And just like, that's something to think about. Like if you are a person who had that experience and then you see something that you can relate to portrayed as like a dead animal on the wall, like that's going to make you feel bad, And so, his new article was just saying how it's just kind of disheartening, to have had this interaction and to think that, change was maybe going to happen, and then to see that it didn't, And I mean, we don't know why it happened. Maybe this guy had no real influence. Maybe he couldn't do anything to make the changes. Maybe he took it back and was fighting for it, and the powers that be said, whatever, this is what we've done. We've had mutants in this game. We're going to have mutants in this game, and this is what they're going to look like. But it's just sad to see that. And, you think about things like, 15, 20 years ago, like if this was the thing, people wouldn't maybe make such a big deal about it because they wouldn't know. Like you were like, I don't know anybody who has these issues. Like I don't know people like that. But the world we live in today, like with the internet, with so much social interaction, people are everywhere, and you're seeing so many more different types of people who are not like you, who have experiences different than you. And it just opens your eyes up to just the mistreatment that they get, you know, probably on a daily basis that we never would have thought of. And it's just like, it's just a really sad situation. So that was on my mind before I got the game. I was like, on the Monday, I was like, fuck, man. And like, I kind of like, if the game hadn't already have shipped, I would have been like, man, do I want to like cancel this order? But, you know, it was already coming. So I started playing it. And like for the first part of my game, like I didn't notice really. I was fighting just people in the wasteland, or if I was fighting mutants, like it's fast action. So like I wasn't really seeing what was going on. There are these, the big bad people, there's some mutants that, you know, they don't have arms. It doesn't seem like they're just like these mutants with, somehow they still have guns that shoot at you, but they are deformed and don't have traditional arms. It's like, so seeing that, I was like, man, that would suck for anyone who's playing who is missing a limb and who sees this and sees themselves represented as the villain. And then I got to a part where you go talk to this doctor who's supposed to like give you these enhancements or something. But he's riding on a mutant, and, you know, just this mutant is getting treated like an animal. And so when I got to that part, I was just like, you know what? Nope. I think I'm done.
Yeah, so holy shit.
Yeah, so I stopped playing at that point, and I'm not going to play anymore. I was just like, I don't know, man. It's just like now just learning things and knowing things and having a more open perspective about other people, it makes a difference. And it's like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. So it's unfortunate, and that is my review of Rage 2 for better or worse. And I guess it kind of is Sam's corner of rage, because I'm not happy with what they did, but it is what it is. So there you go.
Yep. If you would also like to rage 2 about Rage 2, you can hit us up at contact@geekcardgames.com. That's all. That's the best transition to add to that.
Good job. I brought it. I was a big downer, so we needed a
No, I mean, you have all right to be. Like, yeah, it's really shitty that they chose to leave those portrayals in, and then kind of, it seems like, double down, even triple down, and make them...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some very fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's see if we can lighten the mood with some quick news hits real quick.
Yeah.
So the first major one we have is there's going to be a change to the Call of Duty schedule. So if you're unaware, usually what Call of Duty does is they cycle through developers for their games each year. And so usually it goes something sort of like Treyarch makes the Black Ops games, Infinity Ward makes the Modern Warfare games, Sledgehammer, and then I want to say there's a fourth one called Raven.
They work together, I think.
Maybe they work together, and so like these three kind of teams, like they cycle through, and there's usually not very much like repeating. Like usually they all have like at least 2 years to develop these games, and so Activision has come out and said that for the first time, next year will not be led by Sledgehammer and Raven, and be led by Treyarch. I think this probably has a lot to do with the success of Black Ops 4. What you guys think?
Well, I was just, this story is interesting. I mean, you can continue. I was just making faces reacting to this story. So.
Yeah, I would think this probably comes from the success that Black Ops 4 saw with like the blackout mode and just like.
Okay, but I am going to interrupt you there because, like, I don't know if it was in this article or I was reading something, but, like, even though Black Ops 4 was, like, a success, I feel like they were thinking it wasn't as successful as they'd hoped it had been, and that there was a chance that they would be looking at some free-to-play models to just really switch things up. So,
okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, like, anytime something like this happens, it's like, well, there's trouble in paradise because stuff is not working business as usual. And like a team, so Sledgehammer and Raven, I believe, work together on this. And so for them to have somebody else come in and be like, well, we don't think that what you guys are doing is quite the right thing, so we're going to bring somebody in to help you do your job. That is harsh, and that has to hurt, regardless of the reason for why they're doing this.
I've stopped playing Call of Duty for a very long time, but the general consensus I always got was that the Sledgehammer/Raven games were kind of the least liked of the ones. Like, Treyarch is definitely like the top tier. Like, they've been making very good Call of Duty games. And Infinity Ward, for the most part, I feel like people really like those, mainly because of just the name recognition. Like, when you think of Infinity Ward, it ties back to like Modern Warfare and then Modern Warfare 2, and like those were two like of the bigger Call of Duty games back in the day. So yeah, it is shocking to see that like Sledgehammer Raven are just kind of getting the shaft, and so like whatever they're working on is probably gone, because like why would you use...
they're working on it together, so now the three companies will be working on it together, and so I believe Sledgehammer Raven were working on something that had a campaign, so like they'll probably take what they were working on and bring it into the Black Ops universe, because people were disappointed that there wasn't a campaign in 4, so maybe they're just trying to hopefully get the best of both worlds. But also, like, so it sucks for Sledgehammer Raven, and then it also sucks for Treyarch, because they're used to having 3 years to make the game, and now they've got 2 years to make their next one, so it's like, which, I mean, maybe this has been going on for a while, and it just now got announced, but if it hasn't, really, it's only like a year and a half until it's probably coming out, which is even less time, so it's just interesting, and
it really is,
weird, and... we can hope for the best. Also, like, why does there have to be a Call of Duty every year? I mean, maybe you could skip a year. I mean, the games aren't that different, really. I mean, you're shooting stuff.
Yeah, but they always, like, they're just cash cows. Like, they always bring in money at this point. So, yeah, this makes sense. But, yeah.
Side note, apparently the Call of Duty mobile game is fantastic, and people are loving that. So, good for them on that. I haven't tried it, but, you know, hey.
And I imagine... we'll probably hear about this year's Call of Duty at E3 this year.
Yeah, because this still hasn't formally been announced, but everyone's just assuming it's another Modern Warfare because it's Infinity Ward's year. So, I don't know. I have had a ton of fun with Black Ops 4. I was just looking at it last night and was like, oh, maybe I should go play some more of that. But I played Overwatch instead. But it's a fun game. So, you know, hey, I hope they keep doing it right.
I'm going to bring it back. All right. So next up we have...
oh, Cody, wait. Cody, I have breaking news.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do. I don't know if you've heard about this yet. I just heard about it a little bit before the podcast. I almost forgot. I wanted to make sure you knew. This is possibly the biggest news of the whole year, okay? It's coming before E3. It's just like super excited me. Okay, are you ready for this?
Go for it.
Slay the Spire on Switch has a release date, Cody. Do you know what that release date is?
June 6th?
June 6th, Cody.
June
That's
6th,
like 2 weeks away. I'm so excited. I can't even tell you. Like, last night, well, okay, we've had fucking horrible weather. We've had tornadoes. We've had all this stuff going on. So quite a few evenings I've been like, I can't play on my PlayStation because it needs to be fully powered off because I don't want the power to go off and like crash the system. So I've been playing on my Switch, and I was like, man, it'd be so wonderful if I had Slay the Spire on my Switch that I could play right now. So in a couple weeks, I'm gonna get it. I can't wait.
Well, actually, they also released on PS4 and Xbox.
Just this week, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, I can buy this.
I know, I thought about it. I'm like, no, I just need to wait for the Switch. So it'll be here soon, and I'm ready for it. It's gonna be great. So.
It was a very exciting breaking news. Thank you.
I was excited about it.
All right. So also in the news, Marvel and NetEase have come together, and they've made an agreement to produce comic books, TV shows, and video games.
Yeah.
Those first two are very confusing.
You know, yes. It seemed odd to me. But let me just say one thing. About possibly NetEase making movies. I just watched The Terminator. I think The Dark Fate is what it's called. The new Terminator movie. I watched the trailer for it, and I believe at the opening credits, like, it said Tencent was one of the producers. So, okay. I mean, these these companies that are known for their, we know them for their video game stuff. Maybe they're well known for other stuff too, but like they're getting into movies too. So
Sure.
NetEase getting into movies, sure, it could be cool.
But as far as the video games things go, the article that I read had a very interesting take on the fact that, so this is kind of like Marvel wants to get a foothold in the East, and then NetEase wants to get a foothold in the West.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier in the year, NetEase gave a substantial amount of money to Bungie to produce a game. And so someone was like, oh, well, what if NetEase asked Bungie to make a Marvel game? And I lost my fucking mind, Sam, because holy fucking shit, would that be amazing?
I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, like that article post said that, and I was like,
fucking crazy.
I was like, I'm in. Let's do this. Let's go. Like, I need a Marvel MMO. Like, let's do it.
I'd be okay with like Destiny 3 on the back burner and then let them work on this. Yeah. That would be amazing, Cody.
So as far as comic books goes, I don't know what they do there. Like, I guess maybe NetEase just like helps them.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Translated comic books for.
Well, hold on. Maybe we're going about this the wrong way. Maybe because NetEase is affiliated with other gaming stuff, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe Marvel is going to be making comic books about other gaming franchises.
Oh, true.
Maybe
true.
That could be the way that's flowing.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'm just guessing.
And yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Excited to see what comes from this. Marvel really stepping up their video game production like over the past couple of years.
Hopefully.
I feel like, Spider-Man, our Ultimate Alliance game looks pretty good.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. We've had some good. We're still waiting on that Crystal Dynamics. Is it?
Yeah.
Avengers game that's supposed to be happening.
I feel like just Square Enix at this point. Like, what do you do? Like, why are y'all take so long to make fucking video games? Jesus.
I don't know, man. It better be great.
Sam, did you have much to say about the other two news articles we had listed?
No.
You want to save those for next week?
Sure, we can do that.
Okay. Save those for next week. All right. I think we're going to call it a show, guys. Getting long here. It's Memorial Day. Want you out there celebrating, things like that. Having a little barbecue.
Or a veggie barbecue, if that's your thing.
Or a veggie barbecue. Or just no barbecues. Maybe you hate the sun. Feel that one. Anyways.
I mean, a lot of people might like to barbecue in the shade.
Ooh, good point.
I would prefer that if it were an option. I don't have a patio cover.
Let us know what you're planning on doing for Memorial Day at contact@geekcardgames.com. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at geekcardgames. You can find our YouTube channel at geekcardgames.com/YouTube. You can find our Twitch streams at twitch.tv/geekcardgames. We got a couple of streams up there right now, should be at least. One of Destiny and one of Elder Scrolls Online, where I started leveling a warden.
Because you're crazy. Because
I'm
you
crazy.
Can't stop making new characters.
I just keep making new characters. You can find our Discord channel at geekcardgames.com/Discord. You can find our merch store at geekcardgames.com/shirts. Anything else? Oh,
give us one of those 5-star reviews.
Oh,
hold on. Okay.
If I had one wish for my birthday, it would be that you give us a 5-star review and share this podcast with a friend. Thank you guys so much. You can find me on Twitter at Cody. Sam, where they can find you.
I'm on Twitter at SKSUVAK.
Earlier tonight, Sam pointed out she was playing Overwatch. I wanted to take a second to talk about that. So Overwatch is having their 3rd year anniversary, and it's running from May 21st to like
June 11th, 10th or 11th. I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah. And I wanted to give it a special shout out because Overwatch is actually pretty much how this podcast started. Because I met Sam in Overwatch during an extra live stream for Talking Games. And I am so glad to have her friendship, and I owe a lot of that to Overwatch. I owe Overwatch a lot. Overwatch is how I got into video production. And so, yeah, just want to take a second, give a shout out to Overwatch, and thanks for all you've done for me.
I am, in fact, wearing my Diva shirt.
Hey,
coincidentally. How about that?
I'm just wearing a sleeveless shirt. Don't
mind me. Got your guns.
Yeah. We hope you have a safe Memorial Day if you're celebrating here in the U.S., We'll see you guys next week. Sam, take it away.
We're just two geeks who heart games. Happy birthday, Cody.
Nice. Good job.
I had to throw in that extra O. Two shorter syllables. Okay, Cody, I know that it's only June and Halloween is still quite a while away, but do you want to hear a scary story?
Ooh, fuck yeah, let's go.
Okay, now I have to warn you. I mean, you might have nightmares about this. It's pretty scary.
I'm pretty worried what this is about.
Yeah, you should be. Okay, so the other morning, I was sitting at my dining room table. I was eating my breakfast, okay? Finished my breakfast, took it over to the sink like I do. Then I've just rearranged furniture. So my big red chair is over kind of by the sliding glass door in the corner. And so I finished my breakfast and then I like to go sit and read for a few more minutes before I have to finish getting ready for work. So I was going over there to go sit down and read my book, right? I noticed crazy Aloy over there. She's like jumping around messing with the curtains and I'm like, dude, stop it, because she's usually really good with like the furniture and stuff. She's been a little stir crazy because of the weather. She hasn't been able to go out and play as much. So I'm like, stop it. So I go over there, pull the curtain to get her. I notice, Cody, there's a gigantic spider on the curtain. Okay. This spider is about the size of the palm of my hand.
Oh my fucking god.
It's fucking huge, right? Like my first instinct was like tarantula. It was not a tarantula. Okay,
thank God.
It didn't.
Well,
have
tarantulas are pretty nice.
Tarantulas are fine, actually, but like, why the fuck would one be in my house?
That's a good question.
Terrifying, right? I'm a little familiar with spiders because like I've had them in my house before. I believe it to be a grass spider. It's just the typical spider that's in the yard. Yes.
Your hand keeps plunging down, and I keep waiting for you to pick up the fucking spider in like a little glass case. You're like, I got a new pet! And I would yell at you. All right, continue. Sorry.
I don't have the spider with me, okay? But, so like, there's this moment of panic where I'm holding the curtain, spider's here. I'm like, because the thing with spiders, like, you don't want to fucking lose it. Especially one that big, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. I'd rearrange furniture, so my bug catching cup, which I have because sometimes you gotta catch bugs, right? It was in the other room. So I was like, okay. So I went and got it real quick and I came back. It was still there. Good spider, right? It was just like, it's like one of these Quick Trip cups that's plastic. So it was just barely big enough to like go over the spider and like get it. And then like, I kind of like did little and then it fell down in the cup. And then I real quick like turned the cup to like put it against the glass of the wall. And then I had my little cardstock that's like the second part of the
I was wondering, I was like, how are you?
Slid that in there. I'm a pro at using the bug catching cup, right? So I got it and I was like, okay, whew. So I took it out and I mean, it's fucking flooded everywhere in the yard. I'm like, I don't know. So I just took it down to the very edge of the driveway and I let it go. I was like, okay, it's probably going to come back in the house because I mean, I don't know. It doesn't want to be out in the water, but Cody, it was fucking huge. I've never seen a grass spider this big. Normally they're like at biggest like a quarter sized or something. So that was not the way I wanted to start my morning, but it was fine. So that was 2 days ago. Cody, do you want to hear part 2 of the story?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, this morning, okay, I've got my new setup here. I had to have the news on because I had to find out what was going on with this flooding, the weather, right? But also, I needed to do my fitness boxing. So I had my Switch over here on this other counter, and I was just kind of like doing my fitness boxing with the little Switch against the counter, right? I see something out of the corner of my eye. I look over there. There's a spider. It's not a big spider, Cody. It's a little spider. But I'm like, what's a little spider doing in my house after there was a big spider in my house? Cody, there's probably like so many fucking spiders in this house that I don't even know.
That is my nightmare. Constantly.
I caught that one too and I put it back outside.
That's good.
So I don't know, Cody.
Sam, I feel like you should just be honest with me. And the reason you were in a new setup is because you burned down your old house because it had so many spiders in it, and here you are in your new house.
No, No, I don't. I don't have as big. I don't like spiders that much, but I'm not like you. Like I can.
I should say I've been a lot better about spiders.
Yeah.
I feel like I've just been a lot better about many things in general, but spiders have one. So Madeline has a spider like in your past the rearview mirrors on your side. It's like living, and like I offered to like get a little piece of cardboard, shoot it in there.
You need a bug catching cup is what you need.
Get a bug catching cup, shoot it in there, and then go relocate it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's not living and making because it's making a home up in that rearview mirror. Like it's.
I wonder how it's eating. That's like. Spiders can go a while without eating.
Yeah, they
At
can.
least tarantulas can. So.
It's really just like if a spider is like, if I don't know what kind of spider it is, that panics me. If it's on me, and it's huge, panics me.
If it's on me and it's small, I'm gonna panic. Yeah.
If it's on me and it's small, I feel like I'm fast enough to flick it away and not have to worry about it. But if it's huge, I'm like, oh shit, like this is gonna like bite me the second I move. But yeah. Yeah. Fucking spiders, man. Fucking spiders.